Jiffy Greenhouse Windowsill Peat Pots plus Dome, $1 on clearance last fall from my local big box store. Let's plant something! Alright, what you see over my shoulder here, guys, is the equivalent of 24 plants. The USDA officially says that a tomato plant will produce upwards of 15 pounds, but let's be very conservative and say 10 pounds. If I grew all of these tomato plants, which I plan on doing, and they only produce 10 pounds, that would be 240 pounds of food. That is why people like to grow the tomato, because in terms of food production, and the cost to grow ratio, there's nothing that beats tomato, particularly beefsteaks. And I have 4 different varieties of beefsteaks going on, and I have one of these containers here contains a saucing type variety, which I will sauce with. But more on the plant specific varieties later. What I am going to call is this little container here, this little windowsill with a dome thing that I bought for 99 cents, a success. Okay, so keep an eye out for deals at your big box stores at the end of the year type of thing, because this was really cool. Filled it up with some potting soil, threw some tomato seeds in it, made sure it stayed moist, put the dome on it, slid it on a heat mat, and set it fairly close to some fluorescent lighting, as you saw, for about 12 to 14 hours per day. 3 to 4 weeks later, boom, we are at this point. Now, all of these plants are in somewhat to moderate to severe shock mode, but that's okay. Tomatoes are strong, they want to grow, and they will recover. So, what they are doing in these buckets is, instead of planting in solo cups or containers or little pots and transplanting and retransplanting and doing all that nastiness, what I'm doing is I'm staging them in these 3-gallon containers here. I'm letting them root down, grow out in these containers, and when I'm ready to transplant, I just dig them out as carefully as I can and transplant them in. And so I'm going this route because it's just a little bit easier. What's in these containers? About 75% peat moss, 1/4 composted manure, and a little bit of vermiculite just to add a little bit of aeration. There are no holes on the bottom of these containers, so we have to be very careful with our watering regimen, okay? So let's take a look at some of these, and I'll show you the varieties that I will be growing. If one of these is of interest to you that you've never grown before, we'll follow along as I will be updating my tomato grow this year on my YouTube channel. So let's take a closer peek. Alright guys, so the first variety that I will be growing is the orange slice, and these are by far probably the weakest seedlings that I have up to this point. Alright, and so orange slice is made by Burpee. In fact, all of them are made by Burpee, and all of them are hybrids with the exception of one, which we will get to last. Orange slice is obviously, as the name suggests, is a orange beefsteak. Gets between 1 and 2 pounds, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that grows and tastes. Secondly, we have Sunny Boy, which is a yellow beefsteak tomato. Again, another 1 to 2 pound type tomato. And so that'll be interesting to see. So I'm trying to add a little bit of color to my tomatoes. I'm normally a red tomato kind of guy. So I got some orange and yellows going this year, which will be super cool. Now let's flip on over to here. And these suckers are really kicking off. These things took off first in terms of germination. In terms of growth, they are the biggest up to this point. And this is a 2-year-old hybrid created by Burpee called a steakhouse, and these things are supposed to create like 2 to 3 to 4 pound massive tomatoes. Okay, so I'm growing them for fun. They all took off. I had so many seedlings in there that I ended up out of the 4 pots I ended up taking 6 of them, so I'll probably have 2 of those to give away, but regardless, that is the Steakhouse tomato by Burpee. Number 4 over here is going to be my sauce tomato. These are a little bit flimsy at this point, but these are called the super sauce tomatoes from Burpee, okay? And these things create Roma type tomatoes in excess of 1 pound. So fewer tomatoes, but more sauce. I kind of like that, because Roma tomatoes, man, it's just, my God, you get all these tomatoes and so much peeling and all that stuff. So I will be interested to see how those look and taste when they grow out. Again, kind of a supersized kind of a Roma tomato, so that'll be interesting. So I'm giving that a shot. And lastly, but not least is our heirloom pale. This was my favorite tomato from last year's grow, and it is called the Cherokee Purple, and my God, these things just rock. I mean, in terms of seedlings, I probably had 8 of them that I could have took. I split them up in 6, put them in here, and from this point, we will take these tomatoes out until transplant time. When is that? And planting time this year up in Michigan will be around June 1st. See, last year I made a little bit of a mistake. I started seeds too early, plants got too big, planted way too early outside, and ended up getting a hailstorm, and I lost my first crop of tomatoes. So, this year we've learned a lesson. Now, a lot of you southern gardeners get to plant your tomatoes in April and early May, and I'm jealous, but I don't have that luxury up here. So I'm going to make sure that all of the cold weather and hail has passed, which means June 1st is when they will be transplanted, which is approximately 10 to 11 days from today. Now, these were transplanted out of peat pots into these containers on May 19th. This is the following day. I kept them out of direct sunlight today, okay? Because I want them to get a little bit of recovery time. I'm going to let them go another night. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to introduce them back to the light, and they are going to take off, I promise. So let's come back around transplant time, and I'll show you how I'm going to plant these and amend the soil. So I will see you again next time on
Indoor Hydroponics.
Pretty amazing what 10 days will do under some grow lights. These things are just booming. They are ready for transplant. Here is that orange slice right there. Look at that. That's amazing. We've got Sunny Boy. We've got our Cherokee Purples right there. And then we have our Steakhouse. And these look absolutely, positively amazing. So I'm going to really be looking into how these are going to grow right here. These are supposed to be those big 2 to 3 to 4 pound tomatoes, so that'll be interesting. Again, here's those super sauce ones, and these ones I'm not too impressed with. In fact, that one's a real spindly devil. I'm probably not going to plant him, but the other 3 I probably will. Other than the spindly one right here, these look absolutely fantastic. I really like the staging process because it saves a lot of room, saves a lot of, you know, transplanting and whatnot. So in terms of upsizing, my only problem is right now is my peas haven't finished. It's June 1st, and I've got to get these things in the ground. So I am going to, over there, I'm going to plant them in the grass, okay? And I did that last year and had really good success with some Cherokee Purple. So let's get a few of these in the ground and caged down. 6 1 by 1 by 1 holes right in the lawn. Let's top them with some compost. That looks a lot better. We got it topped off with some compost. I put a handful of 10-10-10 in each hole, along with a little bit of garden lime. Now Miss Ava is mixing in a little bit of peat moss here for water retention. And then we're going to mix it up, and then we're going to start planting. This is a good way to conserve on compost, so you don't have row after row after row and wasted compost in areas where plants won't be growing. So I really like this method of like the 1 by 1 by 1 in the middle of the yard type of thing. You don't see too many people growing like this because they love their precious lawns. Cherokee Purple. We will call this Cherokee Purple Row. We ever so carefully want to get us a little hole in there and just take these out as genteelly as possible. Just transplanting. Want to plan it. Of course the video camera can see you, girl. You're the star of the show. And we want to plan it just a little bit deeper. Right? So let's get one for you. Ready? Hold on.
Yes.
Hold your patties out, all underneath. There you go. And just drop her right on in there. Perfect, Ava. Let's fill in around it. Cherokee Purple row is in. We will finish topping it off with whatever's left over in this tub, and now it's time to cage. A little bit of stability. And now, ready?
Ah.
See that? Perfect. And here we are the next day, the first 6 plants in Cherokee Purple.
and they are basking from their first full day of natural sunlight. Now, I just have to plant 12 more because I've got 6 over there, 6 here, and I'm running out of room. What I'm doing to sacrifice for the peas is quite amazing. 3 old 5-gallon pots, a bag of Ocean Forest, which I got on sale for $8.99. That's an amazing deal. And a bag of composted manure, which I got on sale for $1.99. Let's mix them 50-50 in these pots and put our super sauces in them. I think that will be appropriate for these pots. So I'm liking this combination of Ocean Forest, compost, and manure all mixed together. I think it's going to provide good aeration, good water retention. It's going to also have some little bit of nutrient in it to feed them, to get them going. So I like that. So I am going to put in 3 of these super saucers. The goal is 10 pints. 10 pints of sauce at the end of the season. Let's put them in.
I don't know, Dad.
That's all I got for tomatoes, guys. That's how I start them. That's how I stage them. That's how we put them in the ground in here. Got about 10 more to get in. I'll get them caged up throughout the yard. I'll be giving frequent updates. You'll be annoyed. It'll be cool. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Seriously, appreciate the love. As always, please like, subscribe, comment when you can. And as always, I'll see you again here on Indoor Hydroponics. Thanks, guys. Bye.